as the year comes to a conclusion, it kind of is par for the course to recap things and think about all your friends and loved ones and how you know them, and thinking about how I know John. I think we met at the Hudson Valley Bluegrass Association, which was holding its meetings in the same place as the Hudson Valley Folk Guild, I believe. And came up and introduced himself and said that I was playing with the bluegrass band there, and he said that he knew me through Falcon Ridge. And he said Tracy Grammer's name came up, and I just said, oh, I love Tracy and Dave's music too. And he said, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Dave Carter. I love Dave Carter. And so we really bonded over that. And so I figured it would be nice to play this song here, which is a Dave Carter song. I was introduced to his music through a band called the Strangelings, which I was a part of, through Falcon Ridge, which is Pete and Maura Kennedy's kind of psychedelic Fairport Convention kind of foray for a time. And we covered some of Dave's songs, and I hadn't known his music until then. So that caught my ear, because Dave had such a brilliance for writing. So this song is called Power and Glory. He sang the power and glory downhill leading. Black rain, the rivers run, wild geese they breathe, all the way to Nashville town he strayed. The power and glory did not come meet him. He worked the midnight diners, washed the weary dishes, street poets and vision miners, starry-eyed ambitious, blew like pilgrim leaves through the sad cafe, bards and climbers trading dreams and wishes. Once the famous Aphrodite, nightingale came calling, her court, her keepers Friday, foes and hopefuls crawling. Poor proud aging queen, did her eyes betray? The high and mighty know they're only falling. He went home as before, he had no one to sell to. Kids around him on the floor, he sings like silver bells do. And when they ask of the world, he will only say, the power and glory ain't all that they tell you. Well, hearing Dave's music did sort of set me on a path of writing. I always did like reading as a kid. I grew up with The Good Book. I'm talking about Lord of the Rings, of course. And so I enjoyed that. I was reading Tolkien when Harry Potter came out, and I couldn't be bothered with Harry Potter. That was, for kids. I was reading the real stuff. And then I read Harry Potter after that when I was much older, which was actually really fun. It's good too. But anyways, I liked writing and reading, but songwriting, up until I had heard Dave's music, I was exposed to John Gorka as well. I love John's songs. My folks listened to him and a lot of other great songwriters, Jackson Brown and some country artists too, Willie Nelson and who else? Jim Croce, a lot of folks. But I had written some little numbers here and there, like when I was a kid, pretty young too. I was, I think, 10 or maybe even younger. I was probably 7 or 8. And my sister and I, we kind of did some co-writes. I think there's a rap number called Hobbits in the 20th Century. That was pretty neat. Yep. I'm not going to share some of the lyrics of that.
Oh, shucks.
No, I think it was like... Okay, so you guys know Lord of the Rings, right? We've got fans.
Yes.
Samwise, right? The gardener. I think one lyric was like, I'm Sam, and I'll give you a clue. What I think. I think the plants rule. Right? Yeah, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it was, I was pretty inspired. But then I heard Dave Carter and I, started writing things beyond Hobbit rap songs. And I just recently wrote an album's worth of material, and I'm very proud of it. It's called Heartache Town is the album. I have some copies here, and I know some of you have said that you already have it and given a listen, and thank you. That album actually reached number 26 in most played albums in folk radio this year, which was really exciting. And that was an exciting thing. And I'll play the title track from that. It's called Heartache Town. That empty kind of looking stare, feeling too good, are you? I can tell. Did she break your heart and find someone else? 'Cause I'm in that same boat myself. Getting through this world is hard as hell. But there's a spot not too far from here where the popcorn's free and the ice cold beer will make you smile till get out and frown. In a place called Heartache Town. Well, it's not all that much to describe. Just a place where grooms have lost their brides and widows who gave up on try and go. And there are cops and chefs and hobos too. They're the same as me and you. They just don't want to live their lives alone. And the man named King who went insane lives by himself on Cherry Lane. And he says he lost his queen and his crown. Right here in Heartache Town. It's not a place that anyone should have to stay for too long. But there's room enough here for you if you've been done wrong. If there's love left in this world, and there's just none to be found. should bring back that Hobbits in the 20th Century song. Just work that into my set, I think. It's got potential. Although with 21st century, maybe I should do like the 22nd century. They could be like lasers and stuff. I do like writing, and I am very proud of Heartache Town. And I'm currently gearing up for another record eventually. We're always in the process of making another record, or album, or cassette, or whatever, USB drive, I don't know, wire. I think I'll bring wire recordings back. I might try that. But But I wrote this song, and I have yet to record it, and but I did just get to play it with the Gibson Brothers, which I was very excited about. Just yesterday, we been doing a run of their Christmas shows. They're bluegrass guys, but they just started doing a more kind of country crossover, which is pretty cool. And so I wrote this song over 2 Christmases. I wrote the chorus a few years ago. And I just kind of sat with it, and I had to wait until the Christmas after to get the verses. But I like all the holidays, and I feel comfortable enough to share some of my political views here, and which I think we should wherever. I think it's a strange thing that politics can't be discussed, because if you can't talk about politics, what can you talk about? It's weird. It's an indicator of an unhealthy time, I think. But I digress. I like saying Merry Christmas. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I also like saying, Happy Hanukkah. I don't remember when Hanukkah is exactly, but if somebody wishes me a Happy Hanukkah, that's awesome. Or Happy Kwanzaa, great, that's cool. I argue that we should do more to embrace every holiday and propagate each holiday and its traditions, rather than say, oh, it's just holidays, don't talk about any particulars. Anyways, this is that's my little slice of insight. But this song's called Mother's Spending Christmas in the Arms of Our Lord, and it's very much in the vein of the Stanley Brothers. I love their music, and I was heavily inundated with that a few summers ago. And so here it is. Now there's holly on the mantle and tinsel on the tree, but there'll be no smiles or laughter for Papa and me. And though the gifts are wrapped in ribbons and the wreaths upon the door, for Mother's spending Christmas in the arms of our Lord. We gathered round the table, our heads all bowed in prayer. We gladly would go hungry just to have dear Mother there, and your sister clears the table and the candles burn down low. This Christmas Eve will surely be the saddest one we'll know. Now there's holly on the mantle and tinsel on the tree, but there'll be no smiles or laughter for Papa and me. Though the gifts are wrapped in ribbons and the wreaths upon the door, by the firelight. But now you've gone to heaven, and in that happy land we'll walk one day together with Jesus hand in hand. Now there's holly on the mantle and tinsel on the tree. There'll be no smiles or laughter for Papa and me, though the gifts are wrapped in ribbons and the wreaths upon the door. For Mother spending Christmas in the arms of our Lord. Yes, Mother spending Christmas in the arms of our Lord.